And we are back. And we've heard from the people, and we know that the people really want something done. The organization of Amotekun, something that I expect should be replicated across the country, in the south, southeast, northwest, where there is something already that's on ground, and elsewhere in the country. How should we be organizing these things as a people's movement to be more effective in securing the lives of people?
I think it's very, very important that the state assemblies should enact the laws. Beyond that, I keep on saying, it's really not per se very good or very bad laws. It's the attitude of people to it. A situation where I see that the man outside the fence, who is not part of me, is giving me right vibes on account of things I know I have not been able to do, and it's sounding right. And I begin to read too much politics into it. We have a unique situation where the government at the center and the majority of the governors in the Southwest are of the same party. Unlike what we had sometime in the immediate past, even if it was going to be one Lone Ranger who belonged to another party, this person who belongs to the other party, not only doing well, I must say, clearly, but also saying, I want to support this on behalf of my people. If there are questions about organization, and the questions are now being answered anyway, how do we ensure that this regional force is not a backyard way of getting restructuring so that the people from the Southeast or the people from some other sections will now just pounce on it? What happens to it after 4 or 5 years? Dialogue and understanding. And I've seen the governors come out to explain, and it's clear and it should be delineated. It is an Amotekun to protect, preserve not just people from Yoruba land, friends of Yoruba land who come visiting, foreign nationals who stay,
human life,
and to come, and our properties. We are not going to be working in isolation of the security forces. We are going to be working symbiotically to ensure we deliver the dividend of safety, security, and good governance to our people.
Even at the international level, we see so-called contractors in in Iraq, and all these places working with U.S. troops and all of that. So there is nothing peculiar about security contractors anywhere in the world. Why does it seem to generate unnecessary alarm in some people? What do you think motivates this reaction?
I think what's really tragic about all these, especially the federal government's response so far, which is a very knee-jerk reaction as far as I'm concerned, is that nobody seems to have asked the question, what is the reason d'etre for Amotekun? Why was it established in the first place? I think if I was in the federal government, I would have advised Mr. President that why don't you actually focus on the reason why any region would feel compelled to set up its own security outfit. If the place is functioning as it should be, optimally, I don't think anybody will be worrying today about, this and that. But let's look at it from this angle. I think Amotekun has become a dangerous metaphor for our existence in this country. And that is where we have to tread very, very carefully, be you the federal or the state government and this and that. Because I'm happy Prof mentioned, contractors at international level. Take Europe, for instance. You have the European Union there. Within the EU, we have small enclaves. There is the Benelux.
Yes.
So there is nothing extraordinary whatsoever in a society that is devoid of, this kind of undue emotionalization of everything, in the people coming out and saying, and that is where I'll take what you're saying in terms of power assurance and the need for the Southwest. To be honest, Amotekun could have come from the Northeast, from the South, from the Southeast. Amotekun is a metaphor for survival for any human being.
Absolutely.
It has become an existentialist struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So it cannot be ghettoized. Let's make that mistake, because that is what precisely those who are viciously attacking Amotekun want you to do to begin to get the right. That is a Yoruba fight, or is an Igbo fight, or it's not, and it's a human fight. It's a human being fight to protect yourself, to survive, to exist, where the state functions and institutions have been found wanting. Let me tell you, I'm a member of Lagos State Security Trust Fund today. I sit on the board of that. You may not know. When you go out today, look at the IRS vehicles. We buy it for them.
Oh, yeah, sure. I know. A lot of money. We know.
But nobody has come out to say it is illegal for the state
And some other states are,
to be pumping billions into policing. When it's to them, they don't make that kind of argument. But you know what? The truth is, the police protect Nigerians. Whether those Nigerians live in Niger Delta or in Lagos, they are Nigerians. Yeah. And our own attitude, that was personal. I ran investment for Lagos State for 4 years under Mr. Akinwumi Ambode. And the truth is, you face a lot of problems. Investors are not coming to invest in an unstable economy. Right. It's not going to. So you have to fix your security. So if you are a government and you see people come together and say, you know what, we know you have the police, but let's do something to help them achieve their aims. Why should you have a problem with that? After all, sorry sir, we have the CJTF, the Civilian Joint Task Force in the north, that came down and said, let's support the military to arrest, to deal with Boko Haram. Nobody has come to say that was illegal. There is nothing illegal about Amotekun from pure point of law. So the question of legalizing does not arise. You only legalize what is illegal. However, we do need a legal framework for the implementation of Amotekun. That is where I think there is a need for the federal government and the respective states to sit down and work out a political solution.
No, I think on the last point you've made, if you were an observer, the Southwest followed the due process. There was seminars with the IG in attendance. Everything they did, the government knew. As to the organization of this new entity, I would suggest that they follow models of in many other places. There's a need for an independent commission. That and the models used. My second home is Scotland. The models there is something I was interested in. Being a member of the Scottish Minority Right, I was one time a chairman. And by that, I was indirectly a member of the Police Service Commission. The system there is that the representation of that commission is made up of the civil society, the clergy, then trade unionists, and the ethnic minorities. So it's an independent commission. They appoint the chief constable of the police. They, in fact, ensure the recruitment to the point that the political head have no means of interfering. I think Amotekun, and knowing the Yorubas and knowing those people, they would try to come up with a model that would be helpful to everybody. And in that model, I even suspect, and I see, since someone from Katsina can be made a commissioner in Lagos State, I would think that they will cater for members from each of the zones to be members of that commission.
I think that this is work in progress. Wherever Amotekun is not the end of the road. The thing is that it's a great idea. It is the people saying, we want to protect ourselves. The arithmetic or structure or all of those things should be in evolution. There should be a lot more consultation with every particular stakeholder within the system. Quiet consultation to show that this is an initiative of the Nigerian people, not of some governors of the Southwest. This has been my argument all along in this country, that the people should push the governors and get them to do the will of the people. Correct. They are not masters, they are servants. Anyway, we'll return later to continue this conversation, but for now, we've got to go. And we want the conversation to continue. If you follow us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those handles that are running across the screen now, this conversation can be even much more robust than is taking place here. See you next week.